New York, New York. Welcome back to episode 10 of our New York Rangers NHL 25 franchise mode series. And in today's episode, we will be taking on the year 3 off season here in New York. So we're right here at the re-sign phase, start of the re-sign phase here in year 3, in the year 3 off season, yes. And obviously, we do have a few players to re-sign, Filipino, Jason Dickinson, but nothing really too big here to re-sign. We have just about $12 million in cap space here, so plenty of money to sign all of our guys that we want to bring back. But that is kind of where I'm in contention. So Filipino, 83 overall, 27 years old. He wants 2.6. Like that is not a lot at all. We could definitely kind of bring him back. The only concern with him is that actually it doesn't really have anything to do with him. It has to do with Milton Gastrin, who's kind of pushing Filipino out of that spot, out of that third line center spot. But you look at him. He's 20 years old. He jumped up to a low elite potential. He's already an 81 overall, so really promising stuff here in Milton Gastrin. I think he'll definitely be our at least our fourth line center for this next year, which that leaves Jason Dickinson a bit expendable, to say the least. But I think we will re-sign Hedel just for that one contract here at 2.6 mil. Sounds good to me. Honestly, if he'll accept 2.75 for 3 years, just immediately accepts, I'll do that. But let's take a look here. Hopefully he will immediately accept. So give that to him, and he is coming back. So it's good news here in New York. Jason Dickinson, at that point, I don't think we'd need to bring him back just to save money. He wants $2 million for the next 3 years. I mean, I think we're going to have guys pushing up. He is 31. We'll let him go. Same with Olivier Giroux. Sam Carrick will also let go just because he's a little bit too old for us. And we'll re-sign these 3 guys. Just cheap two-way AHL deals. So we'll get these guys signed up. And we'll take a look at the rest of our team here. So those are just the centers, actually. Okay, so Will Cooley, obviously we want to bring back. Just a Swiss Army knife in our bottom 6. Honestly, I do 3 years. Not at 1 point. No, well, I guess we'll keep it at 2. Give him exactly what he wants. We'll sign up all of these younger-ish players, and we'll let the older guys go. You know, at this point, Brodzinski we just don't need. We have a lot of depth coming up. Same with a guy like Mackey. I'd rather cycle these guys out for younger players that we have to bring up in our organization. Zach Jones, he probably doesn't want too much. 1 year, 1.25. Yeah, I'll do that. If he doesn't want 2 years, I'll just give him 1. Matt Rempe, who just got suspended for 8 games in real life, very deservingly. We'll re-sign him. And just all of these youngish players that could fill up our AHL team. I'll bring back. We do have a low top 4 here. Even though he is only 59, I'll bring him back. So yeah, that is all of our skaters re-signed. Goalies. Let's see how many we have in the system here. So we have Caden Primo for another year. I think at that point it leaves Boyko a bit expendable. I'd rather have Primo and Neuenschwander in the AHL playing, so we'll do that. We'll let Boyko go, and Neuenschwander and Primo will be the duo in the AHL. And then unsigned, do we have any players we want to sign up? So is it Boris? Bogdan Vasilevsky, so we'll sign him up. And that is it for unsigned players. So we have all of our players re-signed. And let's take a look at coaching and scouts. See if we've re-signed anybody here. So we still have our coach, A+. He'll be our coach for a while. AHL coach. We'll re-sign him hopefully. Give him a bunch of money. I also have to kind of sign a few more AHL coaches, an assistant and an associate. Any of our scouts need to be re-signed, so 3 here. Let's just bring them back. Alright, so scouts and coaches have contracts now. So let's take a look at our team, kind of see where we're at. Obviously, we took a look at this last episode, but I want to go into more of an in-depth view here. So obviously, our first line is locked with Lafreniere and Josh Norris. I do want to trade Artemi Panarin, 35 years old. He's dropping in overall, so we probably can't get that much for him. But you know, to a certain team, he definitely has a lot of value. He doesn't have any trade clauses right now, so I think, you know, very flexible. We can trade him anywhere we want. So we'll do that. And I mean, if Calgary still has Kirill Kaprizov on the block, I'd definitely be interested in shooting for him. But apart from that, obviously Zibanejad will be our second line center. He is 34. He's getting up there. But obviously we can't trade him. He's got a no-move clause. With Zibanejad, I imagine it'll be Matthias Michelli and Brandon Othman. But, you know, in saying that, we got to make room for Gabe Perreault. Because I do want him in the top 6 eventually, but you know, with Lafreniere, that's 1. Zibanejad, that's 2. Josh Norris, that's 3. Daniil Butz, Brandon Othman. Like, how could we do this? So it'd be Lafreniere first. Like, if in a world where we get Kirill Kaprizov, we'd have Josh Norris, Kaprizov, and Lafreniere as the first line. Second line would be Zibanejad, Brandon Othman, and then one of Daniil Butz, Michelli, or Gabe Perreault. At that point, do we trade a guy like Matthias Michelli, who's making $6 million for the next 2 years? Like, oh man, it's a hard decision to make. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I feel like when the time comes to trade Michelli, I think maybe it's next offseason where he has 1 year left. Actually, no, it'd be this offseason where he has 1 year left. Wait, no. I'm not thinking. Okay, I don't know, but eventually, I think the reality is we trade Michelli, and then Gabe Perreault slides up and takes his spot. And then I guess we're looking at Daniil Butz as a third liner for quite some time, which, you know, isn't a bad thing. So we just have a lot. We have a lot of wingers. And I have a lot of wingers who I want to give playtime to, but it's tough, right? But well, I think in the next season it doesn't matter. We can keep Perreault and Daniil Butz on the third line and just keep on rocking with the same core. Plus, instead of Panarin, hopefully it'll be Kaprizov, but we'll see. So that's kind of the direction of the team, where that's going. Defense, I'm okay with keeping this the same. I mean, EJ Emery hasn't really developed just yet, but we'll see. Hopefully he can take a jump this season. And at that point, we can trade away, or maybe we even trade away Schneider now, just to give EJ Emery that spot, that playtime. But we'll take a look once we get to free agency on what kind of moves we can make. But yeah, let's start simulating a bit here. Get our coaches re-signed. Okay. I'm not interested in joining with this job title. Sweet. I mean, at the end of the day, I can get a full a full new AHL core for gifts, or not for gifts, for coaches in the AHL. So I'm not really mad at that. I'm more concerned about our NHL coaches. All right, so I need to do some scouting around the league. You know, there's going to be a big move to be made. Let's see if Calgary is still interested in trading. And they are. So Kirill Kaprizov still on the block. I'm going to try and make something happen here. I got to do some scouting around the league. Obviously, I don't think they're interested in a guy like Panarin, but maybe the assets we get back for Panarin we can add to the Kaprizov trade, if you know what I'm thinking. So, yeah, I'll do some scouting around the league, see what I can come up with, and I'll come back once I have a game plan. All right. Okay, so I've done some scouting around the league, seeing where I can shop Artemi Panarin to, and I think I found a trade partner here. Now you can comment down below if you think this is any bit realistic, but I want to paint a picture here. So the Columbus Blue Jackets, I don't know how well they did the last season, but if you take a look at their team, I mean, these guys are just full of great players. I mean, they signed Mitch Marner last offseason, Zach Werenski, Adam Fantilli, Kent Johnson, Cole Sillinger, David Jiricek, who's still on the team in this universe, Voronkov, Chinakhov, Matejchuk. Like, they just have nothing but depth on this team, and they have a lot of young forwards who probably aren't going to find any playing time, especially in the forward core. So you look at this guy, what's his name? So Alessandro Di Iorio. So I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that, but Alessandro, you see this guy. I mean, one of their many prospects they have, and you look at their forward core. I mean, he's not getting play time over Marner, Fantilli, Johnson, Sillinger, Voronkov, Chinakhov, like even Vishnevsky, who's a center sniper, the same as Diorio. You know, I can't see the play time. I can't see the play time. Even Caden Lindstrom, who, you know, Kirill Marchenkov. Like I feel like Diorio would be disposable in this Columbus team. So I feel like you add him, and what they get in Artemi Panarin is obviously a familiar face, right? They get him for one more year on a pretty good deal. He just adds to that forward core and really takes him over the edge. Obviously, it gives him like three like incredible lines to roll in terms of forward core. And I will also, to make this more enticing for the Columbus Blue Jackets, be retaining some salary on Artemi Panarin. And I've checked the salary, make sure it works for us. But so we retain some money here on Artemi Panarin, about exactly half, and just a 1-for-1 swap. And this gives us a big piece, who we will not be keeping if this trade goes through, but we'll get to that in the future here. So Artemi Panarin half retained, Artemi Panarin half salary retained for Alessandro Di Iorio. Will it go through? Does not. Okay, so unfortunate, but we will have to add some assets here. Now I don't really know what they want in terms of players. None of these guys I really want to give up. I mean, I would be okay with a guy like Sikora. Okay, I don't really want to take back a player. How about we add like a 3rd-round pick in this guy? Okay, so that just isn't there. Okay. Yeah, I don't really want to give up too much. Like, I'm okay with, alright. So, they don't want to give up Diorio, but man, I feel like this makes a lot of sense for them. Like, there's a reason we've been stockpiling these picks and prospects. It's to make a move like we're going to make here. So, I mean, we can add him back to the deal. Maybe this guy. Man, I think this just makes a ton of sense for them. I don't know why they're not going for it. Like, realistically, what playing time is this guy going to get? We add another second round because I really want this to go through. Alright. Unfortunate. So, seems like it's not going to work out with this guy. Okay. Is there anybody else on this team that they might be willing to get rid of? Because they have a ton of prospects, man. If it's not this guy, what about Shannon? Gordon Shannon. We'll take out all of our picks here. So it's not there either. Because we need one more big piece to make a push for Panarin. So man. So it looks like Diorio just won't work. What if we go for a guy like Vikov or Vico? Vico. So just a regular medium elite kind of guy. Obviously, I mean, the value's probably on our side by a bunch. We have to take back a player, so this guy works. At that point, I don't really want to retain that much because I'm not getting, the player I want. I'll still retain, but we'll chain about 25% for Vico. See what they say. So it's quite close. So this probably will be good enough for the player I want to go for next. But we'll see, I guess. We'll add in Conan just to see if that makes. There we go. Okay. So that's part one of the trade. The next part is trying to get Kirill Kaprizov to come to New York. So he is on the trade block for Calgary. He's got 6 years left. He is 30 years old at $12.6 million. Which, is a lot of money. No doubt. But let's see what we can add to this. I feel like we can afford it. So we got Vico, of course. But we're going to need to give up more. And, this is... we need to make a big splash. Obviously, Panarin was getting a bit too old on this team, and we need to replace him with another star. So let's see what we can do here. I think if you look at our prospect core and who is expendable, Oliver's Mernieks is definitely one of those guys. I mean, center two-way forward, we have that with Milton Gastrin. And obviously, I think the only way he'd get playing time is as a fourth-line center, so we'll add him to the deal, and we'll also add Liam Ruck to the deal, who's just a right-wing playmaker. I mean, we have that in Gabe Perreault, in Michelli, in Lafreniere. We've got a lot of playmakers. Probably not going to need him. So we have those two guys who they want, and obviously I think we do need to add a little bit more. And that comes with draft picks. So I want to start with just a second and a third. It's hard to say. It looks pretty equal value. Actually, if we could do... I would be okay with parting with 2 firsts if we get some salary retention. Honestly. So I'm happy to get him at 10 flat. So let's see if Calgary's willing to do this. So Vico, Mernieks, Liam Ruck, 2 first-round picks for Kirill Kaprizov with some retained salary. I mean, this is the biggest trade of the series so far by a mile. Let's see if it goes through. Okay, so Okay, maybe if we take away some salary retention, because this is just an optional thing that I would have liked to have. Let's see. Okay, still not. So, oh man, this would be a huge swing and a miss if this doesn't work. I mean, the value is definitely on our side. Maybe they just really didn't want to retain salary. Okay. That is not good. That is not good. So what else fits their block at this point? Oh boy. Like, I can't give them 3 first-round picks. That's a little bit insane. What do they want for this guy? I mean, they want to trade him. It shouldn't be that hard to get him. And I want to get him. Like, I need me a Kirill Kaprizov on this Rangers team. What could I add? They do want Braden Schneider. So we keep Ruck. Do they want Schneider? So, the thought process here is, obviously, we get rid of Schneider, and we move up EJ Emery. And we still have about $6 million to play with in terms of getting a, bolstering our defensive core. So, I don't hate this. You know, they still just don't want... Like, what else? I'm confused on what player they think is... I guess these are kind of similar players. They're both two-way forwards. Maybe if we just do Ruck and Vico and keep Marinix? Is that what they're talking about here? Okay, still no. Yeah, I don't really know what they're talking about here, because I don't want to give up Fitzgerald. I don't want to give up Gastrin. Oh man, this is not fun. This is not fun at all. I was really sure this was gonna go through. At this point, if we do 3 first-round picks, and then... Oh, I hate it, though. I hate it. I guess we try and flip Marinix and Ruck for some draft picks. But I still don't like that. I mean... But we're getting Kirill Kaprizov. We're getting Kirill Kaprizov for 6 years. This is brutal, man. This is brutal. Oh man, okay. Well, I'm gonna offer this, but okay. There we go. That was a lot. That was a lot. That was a lot, no doubt. That was a lot. We got rid of Braden Schneider. Okay. Let's think about the positives here. We get Kirill Kaprizov. I mean, we still have our prospects. We still have Ruck, Marinix. Now, I think we could just flip these guys for some more draft picks, right? Because now we don't have our next 3 years firsts. But, you know, I'm planning on being a good team, so I'm not that concerned about it. I feel like maybe at that point we keep these guys. Oh man, that definitely hurt. It definitely hurt. But I mean, we got the deal done. So the first line would then be Kaprizov, Lafreniere, and Josh Norris. The second line, Michelli, Zibanejad, and Brendan Othman. Third line would be Philip Hedel, Gabe Perreault, Daniel Butz. And then the fourth line, Milton Gastrin, Drew O'Connor, and Will Cooley. Okay. Okay. I'm very happy with that. Now defense, we'd have Fox, Chikrin, Keandre Miller, EJ Emery, Zach Jones, or Matt Robertson with nobody because we need a new right defenseman. Okay. Whew. It was a lot harder than I thought it would be to get Kaprizov. So in terms of right defenseman here, we could go for Will Borgen. That would be realistic to say the least. Honestly, I'd be okay with getting two bottom pairing defensemen. Somebody decent. Like I'll go for Will Borgen for sure. That makes a ton of sense. Just give him 1.6 for 2 years. He accepts that. Defense, goalies were good. Forwards were good. We have a ton of money. I honestly I don't see why not. We should go after a guy like Matthias Ekholm. Yeah, I'd do that. I'd give him 1 year instead of 2, but we give him. He doesn't really have any teams interested over him. We give him 6.5 for 1 year, or even 6.6 for 1 year. Call it a day. See what he thinks. Holy shit, man. That was a huge trade. So next year we have Keandre Miller expiring. Honestly, I feel like we could just extend him now. I don't hate that deal. We give him 5.25 instead. Nickel and dime him a little bit. We get him for a bit cheaper. Apart from that, no other players are expiring. Okay, let's see if Matthias Ekholm accepts that. Let's also hire some AHL coaches here. Not scouts. So, AHL head coach. Let's find somebody with good teaching. So, this guy. Donald Rowley. Welcome. Welcome to Hartford, bud. AHL associate coach. This guy B and B. Vilcek Bilic? Sure. Welcome to the team. Okay, that should be good enough for Hartford. Let's see if Matthias Ekholm signs. He's happy to join, great. And he's happy to join as well. Matthias Ekholm has joined. That's great to see. Keandre Miller extends. Okay. Okay. So that is about it for free agency. Obviously, we lose a bit of depth. Actually, not really. I mean, stopgap defenseman in Matthias Ekholm. Hopefully, EJ Emery can jump up to that top 4 defenseman. Our bottom pair of Ekholm and Borgen should be pretty great. But apart from that, man, I think we're ready to head into the next season. I'm excited. Obviously, Kaprizov needs to perform really damn well this season. Like, you take a look at his last three, honestly, yeah, his last three seasons, he hasn't had a very good simulation. But one of them was on a really bad Calgary team. But hopefully on the New York Rangers, his career gets a little bit more rejuvenated. And he starts to perform a little bit better. But that is about it. I'm going to handle all of the off-season goals for all of our players, and then I'll meet you when I'm simulated all the way up to the preseason so we can edit our lines. And yeah, hopefully we'll get a little bit of simulation done. Alrighty, so we're back here at the start of Season 4, right at the preseason. We do have a few things to announce here. Now that we don't have Artemi Panarin on the team, we do have a new assistant captain here. Alexis Lafreniere is taking the A, along with Zibanejad and, of course, our captain, Adam Fox. So I've already gone ahead and sent out all of our season goals and did the off-season goals. And I've already organized our lines for for year 4. So obviously, first line here, Lafreniere, Josh Norris, and Kirill Kaprizov. Second line, Matias Maccelli, Mika Zibanejad, and Brandon Othman. Third line here, it's our kid line. We got Daniil But, Milton Gastrin, who actually jumped up to an 84, which is incredible. I mean, 20 years old, 84. His defensive stats are crazy. So he's going to be playing on our third line and first line penalty kill. And then Gabe Perreault. And the fourth line, Drew O'Connor, Philip Hedl, and Will Cooley. For the defense, Jacob Chychrun, Adam Fox, Keandre Miller, EJ Emery, and Matthias Ekholm with Will Borgen. Obviously, goalies, you know who's starting. And for the power play, so I've actually brought up Daniil But to be that big 6'6" body in front of the net for the first line power play. See how that works. But Josh Norris taking the face-offs. We got Kirill Kaprizov here on his one-timer, Lafreniere and Adam Fox. And then the second line power play, Zibanejad taking the draws, Gabe Perreault in the middle, Maccelli, Chychrun, and Othman on his one-timer. Here are the 4-man units, much of the same. But, yeah, we'll take a look at our penalty kill real quick. So, Philip Hedl taking the draws just because he has really good, better face-offs than Gastrin, but yeah, this is a Zibanejad, Drew O'Connor, and then, yeah. So those are the lines for Season 4. I'm really excited to start this season, but that will wait for next episode. So yeah, start of next season. Obviously, we don't have any big extensions coming up. We know this is a huge year for us. An end of an era. No more Artemi Panarin on the team, but we have a new Russian superstar, number 97, Kirill Kaprizov. So we'll see if we can continue this. Well, I want to say continue this success, but we need to win a cup. All right, so that's the pressure's on for this year and this playoffs. We'll see what we can do in the next episode. Bye-bye.